Greetings, Posh partners, and welcome to Patricia's Posh Life. So, this is a new channel that I have started, and this entire idea sprang out of a conversation that I was having with some friends over tea just a few days ago. And I want to explain a little bit about my goal of the channel and also talk about what does the posh life really mean. So for me, the posh life is really a mindset. For me, it started as a young girl growing up in the southeastern United States in a small town where we basically had a steakhouse where everybody went to on a Friday night, and that was the entire highlight of a family's week. So when I was about 13 years old, my family and I were sitting at the table, and I looked at my father and I said, "Is this all there is to life? Is this all I have to look forward to?" So from a very early age, I began thinking about a different way of life, a different style of doing things, and more importantly, how I wanted my life to look and how I wanted to create my own style of life, not just do what everybody else was doing because that was the only thing to do. So at 17, I traveled to Europe. I was very blessed to be able to do that, had a wonderful time, but I really began to understand at a very early age how big the world was and how different my life could be. But I was the one who had to create it. So, one of my favorite evangelists in the world, Jesse Duplantis, who is full of positivity and laughter, he always says, create your world and walk in it. So that's part of the goal of the Posh Life channel that I've started, is to help you create your own posh life, walk around in it, enjoy it, and bring the people into your world that you really want to be around and spend meaningful time with. So let's talk a little bit more about the posh life mindset. What does that really look like? So for me, I've spent a lifetime of being in sales and marketing in my professional career, creating client experiences that are memorable, that make an impact, and that really portray a very strong message about what my companies wanted to do for our clients. And in doing that, it made me start thinking about applying those same principles to my personal life. So I began at a really young age, as I was lucky enough to start traveling the world at a young age. I began to to invest in china and silverware and candelabras and tablecloths and linens and very, very nice items that brought me pleasure. I didn't do it for anyone else. I didn't do it to impress someone with a designer label. I wanted to do something that made even the simplest of activities, things like enjoying a cup of tea, um, that it would make that a special experience. I really didn't understand the whole concept of saving the good china for company. I felt like that the good china should be used for the people who are in your life on a daily basis, as well as your special friends that come over and visit you. So I started this whole mindset of just trying to make each experience a special one. So instead of eating cookies straight out of a box, I would put them on a plate on a nice piece of china, have my hot tea, and take a few moments out of every day to be quiet, to be grateful, and to think about, what kind of world am I creating? What do I want to do for people? How do I want to express appreciation and gratitude to people? So in talking with my friends at this tea a few days ago, we began to talk about a lot of old Southern customs that we don't see anymore. And I think it's kind of sad that a lot of our customs have sort of fallen by the wayside because many of them were not just steeped in tradition, they were actually really grounded in appreciation for other people, wanting to express kindness or an emotion over a particular event. Things like, taking a cake to a neighbor who just moved in next door, or putting white flowers on your door to signify that unfortunately someone had passed away, but it was just a way of communicating a message in a very gracious and elegant way to those who lived around you. So I started doing things in my own life, like writing personal handwritten notes, creating my own letterhead. And in this day and age, anyone can do that with just an inkjet printer and a computer, um, and sealing those with wax seals, having people over for tea. One of the things that my husband and I do on a regular basis is when we meet someone, we are interested in getting to know more about or getting to know them on a more meaningful level, we do invite them over for tea. It's a great way to sit around the table, to create a memorable event, but to also create a very meaningful relationship with someone one on one, because you get the time to know about their family, their history, their job, what do they want out of their life, what is their heart's desire. And then that way we're able to, if we can, help them in some sort of way, or just validate their feelings and um, let them know that they're not alone, that there are other people in the world. And so, in doing all of that, it's very important to me to create a comfortable environment in our home, a place where people feel relaxed, a place where people can divulge some of their deepest and darkest secrets to us. And they do so gladly, quite frankly, because no one is fighting with technology. No one is fighting over time because someone's got a phone in their hand. Don't get me wrong, I built a career on technology and the services based on technology, and I am so grateful that we have technology. But I think there are moments when you need to put the phone down and you need to really talk to another human being and connect on a very personal level. And in a few videos, I'm going to talk about, what I actually do at tea, how I set the table, the things that I do to make my home comfortable. Um, but in this video, I just wanted to talk about this posh mindset about creating your own world and walking in it, as Jesse says. So the other reason that I wanted to start doing videos for this channel was the fact that I have so many Gen Z um, young people who come to me and they don't even know some of the old customs. They don't know about writing thank you notes. They don't know about wax seals. They don't know about um, that flowers, the type of flower you put on your table actually has a meaning, and it's a symbol of friendship or love or loyalty. And so I've also had on the other end of the spectrum with my baby boomer friends, kind of wistfully saying, oh, we wish we miss the old days, we miss the old ways, to the other end of the spectrum where I have Gen Zers saying, I don't even understand why you would send someone a handwritten note. Why wouldn't you just send them a text? And then after I talk to them and I explain, well, how do you feel when you get a text versus getting a card in the mail or a letter in the mail? And then the light kind of comes on in their head. And we have great conversations about this posh mindset about it is a luxurious experience for the person on the other end of the mailbox, right? Um, and so they get it, and they are like, why don't more people of my age do this? And we have really good conversations about that. So I think it's a great way to bring two generations who are very, very different together in a meaningful way so that we can make a posh life for everyone out there as much as we possibly can. Show appreciation, show gratitude, express kindness to others, not in some bumper sticker kind of way or buying someone a coffee behind you in line at Starbucks, but a really significant, connected kind of way, which for me is what the Posh Life is all about. And I will continue on this channel to talk about experiences that do just that, create memories, and also let you have a lot of fun while you're doing it and get to know the world and the people in it. So I thank you for your time and attention to my video today. Clearly, I am not a professional YouTuber, but I look forward to sharing some tips and strategies that I hope will help you to have the posh life. Thanks, and I'll see you next time, Posh Partners.